I'm sick of heavenly donuts. I want some other heavenly things. Grandma, I ate a heavenly donut every day for a year and a half, and
Ah,
I'm finally sick of them.
what,
So
sprinkles or no sprinkles?
No sprinkles most of the time.
Okay, that says a lot about a person.
Yeah.
Uh,
Have you ever had a heavenly donut?
no, I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's a store called Heavenly Donuts.
Okay.
it's right.
I thought we were talking like metaphors.
Yeah, if
Oh,
you want me
okay.
to
No,
take
No,
you
I want to
there
check it out.
tomorrow, I will. If you want a donut.
Ah, okay. Oh, I
it's
love
right
it.
down the
I love
street from
donuts.
Andy.
What is it?
I said it's right down the street from Andy.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I might pick some up on the way. I don't know. I'm a maple bar guy. I like maple bars.
Oh, yeah, they have really good maple bars. Their donuts are actually the best donut. I've tried a lot of donuts in my year and a half of donut eating, and yeah, they're the best. How
Nice.
was y'all's day? What's new?
But wait, hold on. I want to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Can you get sick of heaven?
Ooh.
uh, Jeez, I guess by definition, everything is perfect in heaven. So maybe you don't. There's no possible ill emotions. Like I'm sick of X.
So,
Perfect can be boring.
but yeah, I mean, that's I think some people's thing of like you have to have sadness in order to appreciate joy, right?
Yeah.
So if you have heavenly donuts all the time, then do you no longer appreciate them? But it sounds well, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Absolutely, that's true. They've become like the cupboards. I might
Yeah,
as
it
well
could
be
become
opening
routine.
in my donut cupboard.
So
That's
you're
Yeah.
rebaselined
totally.
to your expectation of like, oh, you've normalized heaven.
Yeah. If we were going to talk about astrologically, because Mars and Saturn are conjuncting, it's a time to like change and make boundaries around habits and things. Like it's just like the transit is affecting my donut eating. There's a lot of reasons I switched to fruit. One, it's better for me. Two, it's a change. It's cheaper in some cases, and there's just a lot of reasons to switch to it. But it was I think it's the transit making it happen because it like there's the reason we're talking about this, Graham, yesterday is in the Course in Miracles, which you're always invited to, is on Sundays.
Yeah.
Um, we talked about the sentence was "Let us now step into God's presence" or something like that. And so then we started calling everything heavenly, like not just a heavenly donut. Like I'm gonna go to my heavenly production meeting and have a heavenly talk with Graham tomorrow.
Oh, I would feel like too, like I don't know, like weightless. Like I don't know, that feels like I don't know, like being in like a bouncy castle all day. Like I don't know, I would get sick of it.
Yeah,
Would
you
you
could
like
be.
a hellacious donut?
Heavenly
Hell
donuts would be
yeah,
great for a
need a little
while
like
in
sriracha on
heaven.
your donut, or I don't know, or a savory treat. I don't know.
What, Alexander?
I was going to say, heavenly donuts would be great for a while because you knew if you were in heaven, you wouldn't gain a pound. But
That's
even
it.
even after that, could I have something else? Like,
You could have a
can you make
million
other
calories
flavors?
it's in a head of a pin.
God, maple bars, really? Or you could just give me a maple bar again? Can't you make something else? Like a squid bar?
You wouldn't gain a count pound because you're non-corporeal, or what?
Right, right.
What if it's spiritual calories though? Like
Well,
I don't know.
uh, at that point, I wouldn't worry about it. But
Yeah.
Maybe in
I think
heaven, being any weight is a good weight.
That's good.
I think heaven would be boring because, in many ways, whatever work we choose for ourselves, and I'm not talking about going to work, but the work that we choose for ourselves is our reward. So your astrology is your reward. And without the work, you'd have to find work in heaven. Without the work, I think you'd be bored.
Mm.
Well, that's interesting because another way that it's termed often is your life purpose, right?
Mm,
So, and it's not necessarily your job, right?
right.
It's your life purpose that humans find fulfilling. But if heaven is eternal, there is no life. So there is
Right.
no life purpose. So, what is your purpose in heaven?
Here's a terrific question.
Well, and it makes me think like, is it like an eternal return? Like, are we constantly like reliving all the parts of our lives to infinity? I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Got an answer for that, Sparky? Nothing.
Oh, existential philosophy.
But
Uh,
the other thing about that, Jay Z, is that in our lives we have, from like January to June, we have an arc of our life. How it goes, and then from the time that you're in a, the whole thing really. But what we know is the time we're an adult until the time we croak, it's an arc too. So you wouldn't have that in heaven, would you? It would just be like,
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting what Graham was just saying, though, of like, are you like, is living your lives or the memory of your lives or whatever? I'm not sure. Like, because Alexander, what you're talking about too is time based. So the whole premise behind what you just said is that time is sequential.
yes,
if
But
we're
right.
outside of time, oh,
And if time happens all at once, then what have you got? But we
then
don't
there is no arc of your life. And this is the
know.
problem that I have with the premise, the unstated premise of what's that astrology where you're
oh,
progressing?
uh,
Evolutionary astrology. The unspoken premise to me of evolutionary astrology is that time is sequential, and that's why there's this thing about your past lives and then your life now, and then the like, as you're going through your transits you're somehow improving. Like, it's time sequential based to me. And maybe it is, what is true instead is that you're, maybe you do have past lives. Maybe reincarnation is a thing, but maybe everything is entangled such that whatever you're doing now evolutionarily is entangled with your past lives, and the things you learn now you're also learning for all of yourselves.
I kind
Yeah,
of feel like maybe if
yeah.
you can look at your life outside of time, like look at your in timed life. That's a weird. That doesn't work. Uh, but if you could look at it, it would look like a crystal, or it would look like a kind of like a maze, maybe like all the places you've been, or maybe like a big painting. Like a painting that's like you're too close up to it, so you have to kind of look at different parts of it and be like, oh yeah, that's what happened there. I don't know. Um,
I think mine would look like a Jackson Pollock.
oh
Well, I was
no.
at this clown workshop this weekend. And he was saying art is a reflection of life. That's one way to look at it. But
Who
that you could
says
say
that?
heaven is a reflection of life. This was at the clown conference. But then
No.
he said you can always also say art is a refraction of life, which is a multifractal, like prismatic representation of life. And so we could say heaven is a refraction of life, not necessarily a reflection.
What if I just rewatched your guys' conversation about how much of life is fate, and Jenna said something really profound that was like, well, if you just focus on like manifesting one miracle every day, life is full of miracles. We would tend to notice it more. And I thought, well, wait a minute, what if like looking at your life outside of time is like literally noticing all the miracles and like doing a deep dive, like a fractal dive into each part that we didn't see because we were too busy being alive. I don't know. Is that too?
Graham, you got to come to the Course in Miracles on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
It's like an hour and a half of existential philosophy. That's what this is a continuation of.
And there are readings that we barely have time to do because we're so busy chatting it up. Um,
Nice. The
Yeah,
best conversations.
yeah, I mean, the idea of being free from time is delicious.
I'm reading a book about it right now. It said like the courage to waste time, or like it's like a book about time and timelessness.
about living out
When I
of
was a
time.
kid.
Or like the courage to like let your mind wander and like get off the grid and like lose time basically.
That's my autobiography.
Yeah.
Being in the lounge instead of on camera.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But the I'm listening to a book about ADHD called "Your Brain's Not Broken," and that is one of the hallmarks, they say, of people who have some form of ADHD.
Do you think you have ADHD?
I don't know, but I have some elements of it. I think that my checking out of time is intentional because I don't like it.
This book said that Mahler would walk for 3 to 4 hours after lunch every single day.
Yes, I know. It's great. Yes, I don't do that. I should do that. If I if I did that, would I be able to write something like a Ninth Symphony? Who
That
knows?
sounds heavenly. Yeah, walking 3 or 4 hours a day after lunch. Like,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah.
boring AF. No, I don't know. Okay, well, so good talk. This is a production meeting. Hi, Kimber.
Hi, Kimber.
Thanks for letting us know that you were going to be a little bit later so that we could like plan our activities around that. Um, so I do want to go into some like scheduling stuff here for a second, since Graham's kind of new to our team, and like I know he's just dipping his toes in the water. It's not like he's joined the team or anything like that, but he's hanging around a little bit more. So do we want to? Is there anything on our scheduling that we want to talk about with schedule or anything? There seems to be some activities that we're dropping off because we haven't had enough time to prepare for them, or they were kind of Facebook reliant, and so that's kind of, and I think that's okay that we're letting stuff drop off. We definitely don't want to like pressure ourselves to do more than we want to. Does that sound good to people?
Yeah, I was relieved that we weren't going to meet the other day because we hadn't really prepared for exactly what we were going to do, and it was going to take a bunch of prep, and then I wasn't really sure. I'm in the middle of the woods, how I'm going to wash the makeup off after, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I like that we are flexible to bail on the things, and that keeps it fun and not like work.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to schedule things that we want to do, and then if we're up to doing them, we do them. If we're not up to doing them, I mean, some things we don't bail on. We don't bail on the production meeting, for example. Like I don't bail on this. Neither does Jay Z. Alexander's always here. Kimber's usually here. Some people are starting to come and go. I think Jenna's getting pretty busy, but it's like I think I don't know. So just let's see what do we got going on the schedule. Anything we need to talk about with schedule? We have the Mars Saturn conjunction that's happening now until the 19th. We could run the Discord, in case anyone's in that transit and is having a tough time. I don't know. Things are getting lost. I'm trying to do the daily questions on Discord, but it just gets lost with all of them. So either I'm going to delete the daily questions after they've been answered and then start new daily questions, or I could ask a daily question in the general chat, and that would be the daily question of the day, and then it could just move down the chat. I mean, any thoughts on how to do a daily question that actually gets answered, Graham?
I think, well, and Kimber, you may know more about this, but with Discord, there's a thing you can do called a thread. It's not like a normal discussion board where it's a thread, but it's like a special thing where it's like it only lasts a certain amount of time. So it might be good to ask like the daily question, and then it stays relevant for like a week, and then it disappears.
Perfect. Okay, that's what I need to
that-
know. Okay.
Or could you pin it every day?
Yeah, I was gonna say pin the one that's new.
Okay. I'll look into those options. Pin the question of the day. Do a thread that drops off. I made a permalink today.
Oh, cool.
My email signature. Pin the question.
And Andy, I do like the idea of the general, like maybe if you post the daily question and then I don't know if you can quote it or like link to but it's just like today's daily question in the general, and it takes them to that page. But I don't know that off the top of my head if you can do that.
Yeah, I think we should do it in general because we want the Moyer Press Discord server to be a place people visit daily to see what's up. And if
Yeah.
it's not much just happening in the general, and that's what people love to do is answer daily questions. That's one of the things we've always done. So
Mhm.
I think I will post it in general and then make a forum thread, and I'll try to do maybe a time thread like Graham. I'm learning like one thing a week. Kimber, I do want to meet with you. We're just kind of figuring out. I
Yeah,
want
no worries.
I think for an hour, just you and me and Shane maybe, and then go from there.
For sure.
You know, the $75
I
sounds great.
do like the thread thing for the general too, just so that we can see all the answers and see the questions. That way, if people miss the question, they can see it and then see the answers. But
Okay.
you've made threads before. Like, whenever we did I think Jay-Z, maybe you made the guess the chart thread like that.
Okay. Okay. I'll try. I'll with
Yeah.
those pieces of advice this week, and then we can revisit how it's going next week. Um, yeah, but as far as the Mars Saturn conjunction goes, I think with Graham you're kind of present on there, which is great. And I think if we can run it as like how are people doing with the Mars Saturn conjunction? How are people feeling? And then if I'm not around to answer them and you are, Graham, feel free to. That's how you kind of become a teacher in this crew. Is like you act like one. Is essentially you just it's a role, which is you're there for people when they have questions or want to talk and not that you should work for free, but we're all kind of working for free in the
Yeah, no, this is I like this group. I think it's worth putting in effort because I like the community. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like anything online. Yeah.
it's sweat equity, I guess you could say. But yeah, but so I think don't be afraid for anyone who wants to talk to anyone who's having the Mars Saturn transit because I think one of the things we should do as a crew is run the hard transits together, and so then no one's left alone on a hard transit kind of thing. That's just an idea, though.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of new to. I would hope someone else would jump in about transits. I can say stuff, but like it's not my kind of forte. But yeah,
Okay,
I think
they will. What I'll do is there's a thread for the Mars Saturn conjunction, but I'll start talking about it in general also. And I think that's what we're going to need to do. If things are going to be relevant today, we're going to have to bring them up in general. And if general's popping and it overwhelms people, they can just read on through or scroll on through, kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else on the schedule side?
Well, yeah, since you brought it up, I have a couple things written in my calendar that I want to know if real or not. So
Yeah.
on Friday, there's the UAC jam.
Yeah, that was where Jenna and Kimmer were supposed to talk about what they're going to do at UAC, but Jenna seems really busy.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know what day she's leaving for Greece too. So maybe that doesn't work.
Should we take that off the schedule?
Yeah, I'm fine with, and I think that could be a great thing in the UAC channel. I know people were not sure if they were going to go, but if for people who are, we could ask the question instead of like, which session are you most excited about? Like it be a community engager versus a live stream.
Yeah, and maybe we can post the schedule so that people who don't have the link have the
Yeah.
link. And you can say, "Here's the schedule. What sounds excellent to you?"
Yeah. I'm fine. I can definitely participate in engaging that channel that day instead.
Okay.
All right, cool, because that's Friday. And then a week from Thursday is the Venus-Uranus conjunction, and we were talking about chaotic kindness and maybe having a crazy hair day. I don't know if anybody else still has that on their calendar.
I think if we wanted to do that for like we show up to everything under the sun with crazy hair, but I know that the chaotic acts of kindness was originally it was because of the Facebook, like being able to post them. So if we wanted to shift that to Discord or not.
Okay. Maybe we should just take that off. I mean, I don't know. What I would maybe want to start doing with these transits instead of doing what we would have done on Facebook is start trying to run them in Discord. So where we as a crew talk about the transit with the Discord server.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay, so I'm going to take that off my schedule too.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that one. But I was like, I feel like some of the ideas we had to engage people would be good to like hype them in advance so that they like people can participate. Like this day is going to be chaotic acts of kindness day. And we can like go in thinking they're going to show proof of whatever they did.
Okay, so maybe I can do that in the Discord server.
Yeah. but just like giving everyone a heads up in advance to help see if they'll participate.
Like tomorrow, you might feel Venus Uranus energy, and if it does, spontaneously show us.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm just getting used to what Discord can and can't do as opposed to Facebook. Because we had a really lively place on Facebook and that got shut down. So now we're just trying to translate that to Discord, but it has a different feeling.
And Andy, I do like the different channels for the different types of transits, because that was like, I was really feeling Mars Neptune, and it was nice to be like, let me see what's going on in this Mars Neptune channel like a few times. So I like that there's a space for each individual big transit.
Okay, I'll keep making thread channels for them, and then we'll also talk about them in general. That's what I'm learning to do. Is we're going to have to go general with things we want people to look at.
Like to plug, go here if
Cross posting, yeah.
Okay, I have a schedule thing in 2 weeks. I'm not going to be able to be at Everything Under the Sun. That is on the 28th, and Jenna will be. Hold on. That's the 30th. I won't be able to be there, and Jenna's going to be out of town. So we're going to figure out who can run it and how they can get in and run the StreamYard. Mm-hmm. So someone else run Everything Under the Sun on that Thursday, the 30th, or it's the 30th.
Will it be called mostly Everything Under the Sun?
Could you do it, Daisy?
I can do it. I'll be back in Gloucester as well, so.
Okay, yeah, that'd be a good reason to move up the queue, you getting into the StreamYard also, so we could figure that we should do that at one of our Sunday meetings.
Okay, cool. But the Sunday before then, you won't be around, just FYI.
Okay. So maybe this next Sunday we should get you into the server.
Yeah.
I will be in an astrology retreat next Thursday, the 23rd. So I won't be able to make it. I'll be in San Diego. Maybe I might be able to make it. I don't know the timing, the schedule then, but I just want to give a heads up. But that's the only one I know of.
Okay.
I didn't know of any astrology retreats.
Oh, I'm going to 3. Well, I'm going to a bunch this year. But yeah, it's Even Forest. I want to meet some classmates.
Cool. I like that people are living their lives and then doing the Moira Press when we can. We definitely don't want to stop anyone's life for Moira Press events, right? Like this, we're the crew that's here when you're home, you know.
Yeah. And I think I just want to try and give you guys a heads up, like when things come up.
No, it's good because we do plan around you. Like if you're going to be there or not, we plan for that. One of the reasons we're not a cult, groups get critiqued for being cults, is because you can come and go freely. Like we definitely are not keeping anyone here. It's like, do you want to hang out or not? Like we're just a crew, you know. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's it for schedule stuff. Unless Graham, just a few things that I don't think you really have ever been to. There's that Tuesday group that you've never been to. Then there's the Thursday crew, Everything Under the Sun. You kind of
went to that one, yeah.
Yeah, you're still filling that one out, but maybe you'll get more comfortable. And then Sunday's Course in Miracles. Those are all the free. Tuesday's $7 a week, but Thursday and Sunday are free events, and then Monday's production meetings a free event. So, and then Project Jams. We got to schedule the Project Jams out for the year. Jay-Z, maybe we should do that on our Sunday too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I like doing those once a month, don't you? Do you?
I like.
Yeah, absolutely. And when would that be coming up? I mean, that wouldn't. Let's see. We were doing them on Fridays, right?
Yeah. We just had one last week, but we just need to schedule them for the.
So that was. Well, I'm just looking at my calendar, and I would not be able to do it the 8th or the 15th
of May.
Right.
Okay, and I'll be at NORWAC the 22nd. Could we do it the 29th?
Yeah.
May?
Or we could do it the 1st. Are you back the 1st? You're gone.
I'm going to be at Disneyland.
Right.
You want to do the 29th?
Yeah.
29th.
You can do the 29th. You weren't there the other day, Kimber.
I was not.
Yeah.
It was a weird day. It was a weird anniversary day for me. Sorry. I just woke up and it was weird.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So
So
glad that you woke up, and not to shame you for not coming to our.
no, we had scheduled it because you said you could go that day. That's why I
Yes,
thought of it.
yes,
You know.
and then yes, and I spent the day in San Antonio with my best friend, and then got weird. It got weird. Sorry,
Anyway,
No problem though.
I was
but
just
those do seem to be fun and easy to run, and I mean, we could do one on the 1st, even though you're not here, Andy. You know.
Sure. Yeah, if you can get in, if we can get you into the StreamYard, then we can schedule stuff when I'm out of town, and that would be fine.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I think that's it.
I'm excited to get more involved with the everything under the sun. Like I don't know. I think I like that group. It's good.
Yeah, I think now that you've gotten used to how we are and like you feel like you can communicate, like I think that everything under the sun's a lot like a production meeting, except it's more like random content, you know. So I can include you in the emails. Do you want me to include you in the links?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you can come if you want. Um, okay. Anything else anyone wants to talk about? Okay.
How's this Mars Neptune? Oh,
Okay. Oh, Mars and Neptune.
or go ahead.
Oh,
Wait.
it's just. Go ahead.
Well, can I just? Sorry, I have one more thing about. I had a question. Curious Crossroads, is that a thing now? Is that a weekly thing? Is it going to be a thing, or is it an occasional thing?
It's every Tuesday at 2:30.
Okay, so that's another thing.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a show with guests on it. That's
Oh, that's like the Ricky show. It's a show with guests. It's not
yeah.
like open thing. Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you want to come and be in the chat, then by all means, you know. So.
Okay. Cool. I wasn't sure.
I think some people would look at what we do and be like, "You guys have too many events." But I think what we're modeled on is like a bar that has like open for happy hour pretty much every day. We have something every day, so people can really like dive in. If you know they just went through a breakup, they just got clean and sober. Like if you really want something, you can get into. Like Moira Press is that, and I think for people who have big swath open up in their life, I think it's a very beautiful thing. For
It's
people
nice
who
to have
have
something to look forward to. Oh,
okay.
yes, Graham.
yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I was just saying, like, especially if, like, say someone like, oh, I don't really feel tied to any one of these things, but this one thing you do on Friday or whatever, like, I'm not sure what happens on what days, but like, if someone could be like, well, I just hang on till Friday, and they'll talk about my stuff or whatever, like that could be a nice. It could be this could be a nice kind of like a theme night at a bar, like you're saying, like.
Yeah, I like that comparison to the bar because too, it gives you like I love the Tuesday night group, and that was like my first opening into Moira Press. But sometimes I like to talk in there outside of the Tuesday night hour, and so that's like where it's just a container for that day, but it gives me I can talk in it or connect with people outside of just that one day.
Mm-hmm. Dude, the Tuesday group is that's probably my favorite event of the week. I don't know why it is. It's so fun. And I think
I never know what I'm gonna get.
I know, and it's the advanced crew, so everyone's just a spitfire like genius. I love that crew. Yeah. Okay.
The world famous Moira Club.
Moira Club. Yeah, totally. Okay.
When is the book switching?
We have like 10 chapters left, I think. So it'll probably be a few months.
Oh, a couple months. All right. Yeah.
I think we should do Astral Somatica, Kimber, because that one's a physical astrology remediation book, and I think it would be cool to switch over to that one.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, we didn't have everyone that's in the group vote. Like that's in the so we need to get everyone to Discord.
And then I think I'm going to start another remediation reading group on Wednesdays at 12:30 p.m. like soon, because there's a lot of people in the UK and stuff who want to come but can't come.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking about doing that too. So
that's a good idea. That's nice.
Okie dokie. All right, are you ready, guys, for the lesson of the day, the production meeting lesson?
I'm ready for your thing, yes.
Okay, I'm torn because I went to the clown conference this weekend and I have so many lessons from that. I might take another week if you guys let me have 2 weeks in a row. Because I think today I want us to learn from WWF wrestling, and then next week maybe we could learn from the clown conference. Is that okay with people?
Yep.
if anyone has something burning that they want to teach, I can, not go next week. But I don't want to forget the clowning lessons. That conference was literally mind blowing and life changing. And like, I think we should be remediation clowns. Like, I don't know. I think Moira Press should clown at astrology conferences. Like, we clown crew should show up for like dances and stuff. Like, I don't know. We got to think about it. We got to learn for a year on clowning. Like, do our Jupiter and Leo year. But I think we could actually be a troupe that clowns. Like, clowns, we could clown through hard transits with people. Like, clowns are work with hard energies, and the clowns kept talking about prana in the audience, like in prana. They were like, the clown rides prana, which is literally life at force energy, and I can feel that stuff. And so, anyway, well, we'll get into that next week. But
Why do you want to talk about the WWE this week?
because I have a bunch of lessons I want us to learn, and I've been holding on to them for like 3 weeks.
But you're so hot about the clowns right now.
I know, but I've been hot about the WWF for like 3 weeks.
Okay. Just
Okay.
curious.
Okay. So a few things. Okay, so there's just a lot. The first thing I want us to talk about is kayfabe. Has anyone ever heard of kayfabe?
We had this conversation at one of your parties. Well, yeah.
Well, what do you know about kayfabe?
Well, so it seems like it's this one. It's sort of half acting. It's like, okay, like if you're on a drama, you're fully acting. Like you're embodying a character. But wrestling, it's like they're really doing wrestling moves. It's a real match, but to make it have a story, people take on these personas, and it's like the persona is like sort of half the real person and half their character. But the whole point is that like the audience can get invested in it, and no one necessarily has to acknowledge like, is it fake? Is it real? Well, it's kind of both. But it sort of creates a magic circle where it's like, okay, it's a little bit like divination in that way, where it's like, you're creating this separate space where like this heightened reality can happen, and like, I don't know, Mr. Mega Millions can fight, the working class hero or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know wrestlers, but yeah, but it's this kind of cool, like, yeah, it seems like it sort of grew organically. It's not like a Hollywood thing. It's like came out of wrestling. Like, it's kind of cool.
Does anyone know anything else about kayfabe? Okay, I'm going to read you that was great, Graham. So, kayfabe is a professional wrestling tradition of presenting staged events, characters, and storylines as legitimate, authentic reality. So, we're running into kayfabe with like the Mars Uranus conjunction in Gemini, where we want to have these debates, right? It's like, is it real? Is it fake? Is the contention real? Is it fake? And I think with kayfabe, it rides the line of real and fake. Okay, like, so during these debates, like, there's going to be a real disagreement going on, but it's also kind of dramatized to the transit. But it's like, I think our crew is in some ways astrology kayfabe, or I was thinking we could kayfabe transits. Like, so let's say one of us really gets mad at the other one. Like, Jay Z and I were kind of actually mad at each other about like staying in this hotel room on this cruise, and it was like, but I think we could kayfabe conflicts where it's like, is it real? Is it fake? Are they really mad at each other? Are they really, you know what I mean? But unless we have this like vocabulary for kayfabe at the Moira Press, we don't really know that we can do this. Where he's like, but I mean, what do you guys think of like taking transits that are really happening or things that are really happening, but you kind of kayfabe them, where you kind of act out the conflicts? But do we want to do that? Do we not want to do that? How do we? That was maybe more real when we were doing Facebook. I mean, how do we want to do that?
Can I just say, I feel like it would be what it would be good for is like getting an audience involved in your heightened conflict. Like people then people could relate and be like, oh, that's kind of like my transit, even if it's just like I stubbed my toe or something. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, in some ways, we're a crew who does reality of the transits. Like, if you really get in trouble at your job, we just talk about that, really. I mean, because our crew goes to the transits too, right? Like, so we are like, that's why I talk about things like I got in trouble at work, or people are like, why are you so transparent? I'm like, if I didn't transit, do you think people would trust me? Like, I transit as well.
Yeah,
So
I love a self-aware astrologer.
You would. What is it about
I
self?
love a self-aware astrologer. That's the type of astrologer I want to go to.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah, or someone with like a life that's a little bit messy, like all of our lives. Yeah.
My
yeah,
initial feeling about this is that, and I'll have to drive it around the block and see if anybody else gets in, but is that you are serious astrologers, world famous, very competent people. And if someone isn't sure which part of it is real and which part of it is not, I worry that you won't be taken seriously when you're serious.
I could see that.
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. So maybe
But the
we.
clowning, well, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just say like when you're doing like the clowning videos, they're great, and it's super clear that like okay, this is like a character, and like this is not Andy Gertz, professional astrologer with all the that means. It's like it's no, this is like a performance. I don't know. I think the clowning there's like a definite you can tell like it's different.
Well, and that was kind of my inclination too. Is like maybe our magic isn't kayfabe. Like it used to be kind of when we ran Facebook, we would dramatize stuff for Facebook. I mean, nothing was ever fake, but people would just dramatize because it was online. But maybe we don't do kayfabe, but if we have beefs, we clown them out because like one of the things I learned at the clown conference is that clowns solve problems. Like I can't open this jar, and like they might use a prop that like I have my big gold key, so like Stardoll could try to open the jar with her key. Like you can try to solve you basically try to solve problems as a clown, and that's kind of what clowns are really good for, is like working through the emotions of problems and things like that. So maybe our troupe doesn't kayfabe. That's not our magic, but maybe we clown through tensions or something like that. But we have a pathway through like beefs and tensions and things like that that is like magical, not just realism.
I'm wondering about what Alexander said about then when you are serious, you won't be taken seriously. And I guess my question is, by whom? Because if it's because I feel like the people who have discernment will understand uh, when you're presenting something that is not reality as reality. But maybe that's not true either.
Well, and
I'm trying to drive around the block with you, Alexander, on this.
well,
That's great.
JZ, I think it's a really nuanced thing because it says, okay, it acts as an unwritten contract between wrestlers and fans where both parties pretend the performance is real to maintain the spectacle. So the thing is, some fans are savvy enough to know that kayfabe is going on, but they participate just because it's magical. It's like a circus. But the kids don't know stuff is kayfabe.
Right.
You know,
Right.
You don't have kids here.
Well, right, but I'm saying this is one kayfabe is one way to create magic, and I'm hearing Alexander that maybe the more you're impressed because we are magical surrealism carnival astrology. That's kind of our brand, but maybe kayfabe isn't the answer for us. Maybe it's circus and clowns. That's our version of magicalizing things like conflict and trauma.
Well,
Your magic surrealism is working, and everybody takes it seriously. I don't know. Not everybody, because I don't talk to people on the street, but it seems like you're being taken seriously for the magic that you are involved in and the surrealism and the clowning. I would hate to see that undercut by um, people not knowing if you're serious or not serious. And when it comes, I'm not a fan of WWE, but I don't think any of it is real. I know going into it that it's not ever real. And so it's uninteresting to me because it's not a performance that I want to see. I want to see Beckett, not that. But so that's my personal preference. But um,
It is real and it's unreal. It's just I know because I've produced real life. Like when we did the Facebook show for 15 years, that was real and unreal. It was like unreal. Like, it's hard to explain, but it's like it's real. But then some things are kind of staged. Like we scripted certain things that would happen on Facebook, and other things were just real, and that's, I believe, how it works as well. Sorry, Jay-Z, what were you going to say?
Well, I think going back to what Graham said about the contract, right? Like when you are in your clown character, the audience doesn't have to guess whether it's our 3D reality or not, because the clown characters are giving a big clue like, no, this is not 100% real. And then it's like the opposite. Whoa. It's
Heightened reality.
it's the opposite, because it's these clown characters who you know are not real, kayfabe to our reality. You know what I'm saying? Like their non-reality is our reality, and our non-reality is theirs. You know? I don't think I'm explaining that.
Well, I think I like what you're saying is the clowns cue surrealism content. And so it's like that's our cue that this isn't this is kind of beyond real, but I think we can learn from kayfabe and say we're going to do, but I think where we're starting to ride kayfabe is also with the debates. Are those real conflicts? Are they staged conflicts? Are they real or not? But we're not necessarily, we're just setting them up for debates. We're not saying anyone do any quite thing, but I do think we could stage certain things to make it more magical, like have a clown in the room who's a judge of the debate or things like that, where I want us to be as magical as WWF, but we maybe have our own methods for that, Graham.
Well, I just something just occurred to me. So like the thing that unites like wrestling and clowning, if you go back far enough, is commedia dell'arte, right? You got this like
Yeah.
set of 8 stock characters,
Yeah.
who, by the way, are very astrological. Like they're kind of planets, or I mean, there's like, oh god, I can't remember the names now, but it's Italian. But like, you got like the captain who's like boastful and proud, and you've got, um, the maiden who's like, oh no, and then you got the Pulcinella, and anyway, you got all these characters, but they're types. They're not characters as such. It's like you can play out specific stuff about a situation by portraying a general type.
They stay
But I
in
could
their
definitely see
role.
like, well, maybe instead of like clowning for a new role each time, what if we have like the Saturn clown, or like the Venus or Mars clown? I don't
That's
know.
a
Is
great
that
idea. Like if Moyer Press Clown Troupe like was at a conference like Norwalk and we showed up at the dance, we could each be in one planet. We could each be a planet.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what would that mean if that planet showed up looking like a person? Like, ugh.
Yeah, I think this is what we were talking about this the other day when Debbie was saying like, yeah, her clown character is Saturn specifically. And we were talking also about how when there's that thing about everyone plays the 10 of somebody's astro chart.
Yeah, astrodrama.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can use all of these, but I really am taking Alexander's point to heart. Like we're not faking transits, and I think that's what we don't want to be known for faking, but we do want to be known for being surrealist circus carnival astrologer. Like, and I think we can be real. We can be real about the technicals and the data of the transits, but that we clown through the pinch points, or we help people move through the traumas of the transits with our clowns. Maybe that's the magic of it,
I could see that. And then, as long as your content is valid and people
Yeah.
aren't questioning your content.
Okay.
Well, and does it need a container? Like, does it need like a, I don't know, like a theater space? I kind of feel like at a conference, like their only real space to have that would be maybe like maybe in the parking lot, like have like maybe like a tailgate party, like a clowning, astrological astrodrama tailgate party. I don't know. That's a
Yeah, or
step too
maybe
far. I
we
don't
can
know.
work it out with Lord Now Bandian that we get a room or a space to do it, or we can work out where the clowns, how the clowns do it or whatever. But I think we should train for a year with Jupiter and Leo and see. Okay, I want to move on to another thing. Okay, so with WWF, the other thing we learned is, or one other thing we learned is that there's lore and storylines, which we know we've studied that, but there's people with long-term lore and long-term storylines. Then there's up and comers, like, people who come in. Like, I have a 20-year storyline in astrology. I did the Valens anthology, got in a big bunch of trouble for that. Then I came out with remediation. There's a beef between me and Brennan. Like, whatever. There's all this stuff. I have a long-term lore. But there's people up and coming, like Kimber's kind of up and coming, and Jenna's up and coming, and then and Graham's now coming in, and like, so I think, and Jay Z's been around. She's like, the point is I think, with all of the things that we have people up and coming, that happens in wrestling too. You have the long term storylines, and then we have the short, the people who come up, and some of those people stay for 20 years. Some of them come and go. So I think we could, as a troupe, kind of identify. I don't know if we need some language around, like, this person's coming in or this person's coming up, or does anyone have any thoughts about, like, how we identify who is or what people, or do we need to identify that, or is that just organic, or how do we do anything around that? Like, Jay-Z, I think your storyline in astrology has been going on for several years, like because you were kind of manifesting, like, Andy and Jay-Z are best friends, but I feel like your storylines become more dense than that. Like, you're one of the producers at the Moira Press, and that's your storyline. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the longer you go on, the more lore is built around you. You know what I'm saying? There was, like, we've I don't know. I think it reveals itself over time who's going to have a long storyline and who's, like, just come and go. But do we need to give people language around that, or
I
anything?
mean, so you know how people like it, especially on the Discord or like underneath our names, we could always. I think it'd be cool to kind of for people to keep track of. Jen and I are both evolutionary astrologers, but like not everyone is, and so that would be cool. I think it just changes with like you can put underneath because I know like Bonnie has like chart harmony underneath her name, but I think that'd be kind of cool to know like who is on the production team or how long has someone like I think it depends on what we actually want to clarify, but I do think for even the debates, if we're talking about different types of astrology, it would be cool underneath our names to include what kind of astrologer are you, or if we're talking about like age or new versus old, with like new, like a newcomer versus someone who's like experienced. I think like pulling it in when it makes sense is helpful. Because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's times when I think just seeing Jen and I are opposites, and so I think that's what works. It's like I'm an Aquarius, she's a Leo, or she's an Aries rising, I'm a Libra, and so it's just that might have been helpful context for some of the things of the way we approach stuff.
Then there's pressure to define people's roles, because, like, in WWF, they're like now talking about Pat McAfee. He's one of the announcers, and he's come up, and then they talk about his lore, like, we used to be in the NFL, and like now it's like, and it's like, how would we even encapsulate Jay-Z into his role? Like, what is his role? I mean, he's got like 20 roles. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, what to give it one name, give that role one name? That's not going to happen. I
I
mean,
think there's a danger of like over defining. Like if
Yeah,
you define something too closely, you kind of, yeah, you can kind of ruin it. um, yeah, but
and
maybe
then
if there was like,
Alexander, what's Alexander's role? I mean,
Hanger on.
yeah,
no.
I'd say I'm from the underworld. I don't know.
What if we had wrestler names? I don't know.
Daisy,
um,
do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I think that what's you kind of touched on it, and when you said like newcomers, they come in and they're new, but you don't know if they're going to be around for a while or not around for a while, right? Like, so in a way, I think we need to, like, everybody is as important, whether it's the beginning of their lore or they've been here forever, right? Because, like, on the show, the characters are of equal importance, or, maybe you have guest stars and then they become part of now I'm thinking of like TV shows or something. Like there are the characters that say in a sitcom who they're the characters that are there every week, and then there's these other characters that weave in, and then some of those end up being long-term characters. So as a aficionado of a show, you would know who the long-term ones or who weren't were. But if you're just tuning in to your first episode of something, you might not know, and all the characters are equally important.
What about I had this feeling of like on Discord, like what if someone's like a astrologer for 30 years, but they just discovered Moira Press and they're brand new for this space, but um yeah, how would you yeah, I don't know, how do you flag that like maybe you can have badges? Does that work? Like I was on somebody's Discord that was like for a political campaign and they had like vote for so and so or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like a little sticker with a little heart, it was like I don't know. But can we do that? Like next to the name, have like a little badge, like, oh, a 20 plus year astrologer or something, like
Yeah.
because that would give prominence to people who deserve prominence, but also like, but not everybody has to have that. Like if someone's like a new person to astrology and new to Moira, they don't necessarily have to get any flair, or they, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Andy, the best thing with that is like, what's the point? Like, what's the goal of doing it? And is that clear? And then I think that would, but I'm open to it.
I think it's drama, like, right, like, just, and also it helps to clarify, like, for example, if Graham starts hanging out around and he's here for 2 years, we're going to see Graham differently than we see Graham now. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And that's with WWF, it's between you and the crowd. Like, if you come and romance the crowd for 2 years, they will get attached to you. I mean, that's the same thing here. And I think more it's as a crew, I don't know that we necessarily need language for it that's public, but I think we could maybe become aware of the nuance of that happening. Like someone comes in and we welcome people in. We're a co-op. We let people, in all the time. And if they start to stick, we might be like, oh, well, Graham's sticking around. Okay, Graham's really sticking. And like, if Graham really does well with the crowd and they love Graham, well, then we could maybe acknowledge that as a crew. Like, okay, Graham. Okay, all right. Like, I don't know if we need to, but I do think it's just nice to notice when somebody is like maybe part of the core. Like, so and so's becoming core in this thing. That's why we're not a cult. Like, people can leave anytime. It's not like there's any commitment required in that. But I just, it's something that you see, and when they come in and they have their first bout, they're just called their name. They're like Randy Johnson. That's like their first match. You know what I mean? And then as they become more the crowd, then they get a name like Randy the Slammer or something. You know what I mean? Like, then they get a name, and then but that's because the crowd gets kind of attached to them, and then they get like a nickname. And so I don't know if this is something we need to do anything with, but I just think it's a cycle of development and attachment to the crowd or the crew that happens.
Graham
Can I just say,
Slammer.
What is it?
Graham Slammer.
Graham
Oh.
Slammer. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, can I just say, as someone who's brand new, I feel like it would have definitely been helpful to like know, especially on the Discord where like we're not using our real names necessarily. I mean, my real name's on there, but like, but if there was some kind of way to tag like, oh hey, this is someone who's been with this group for like a long time, and then like, I mean, oh, and then I could relate in that way, and that would have been, because otherwise it's like, yeah, everyone is everyone else, and it's all anonymous kind of, as a new person.
Yeah.
Um, Also,
Okay.
like I was never part of the Facebook group. I don't know who was a big deal on the Facebook group, but I don't, like it'd be cool to know.
But I like Jay-Z's point that it's like everything's new and fresh every day, and there's lore, and it's like you can bring up the lore as a marketing thing or as just a drama thing, or you can have everyone on the same playing field in a day either. You know what I mean? It's like it depends who's seeing it and what's important in that moment. Pat McAfee's been announcing, and then all of a sudden they decided to put Pat McAfee in a fight with somebody. So then all his back lore came up. Like if Graham decides to be in one of the debates, like maybe his backstory will start coming out of nowhere. It could be that it's dependent on the moment too, if we use that information or not.
Well, I also think like if this is for the Discord itself, and knowing like if that's the kind of use case, Graham, that you're explaining, like it is true that in other Discords that I'm on, like you see it says moderators, blah 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 blah. It says staff and has people on it, and it has like they actually do that, and
Yeah.
we could do something like that.
Maybe it doesn't need to be that formal, but like, yeah, but having something to be like, oh, hey, no, this is the person who's like an integral part of like how this thing happens, and like that's a good thing to know. I don't know.
Like Kimber, if you became the person who built out the Discord, we could call you like Discord Queen or something. I mean, not that you would want that title, but I'm just saying that if that happened, then you would kind of elevate to a new role, or like we would just need people to know that you're the Discord person. So in that case, we might change or add something to your moniker, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one more concept I want to get out before we end, which is tag teaming. So in WWF, there's a lot of solo performers who then do tag teams, right? And that's how they build storyline. But I wanted to just think about it is like right now, Jenna and Kimber are a tag team, right, on Existential Side Quest. And they're also their own solo performers. And, I don't know, like but people could, if they get to know people here, say, hey, let's tag team on XY event. Like whether or not they start a new event where they co-teach it, or a class, anyone on this crew can teach a class to the Moyer Press. I mean, anything you want to do, if you have a storyline that you want to create, like I want to tag team with so-and-so, I just want to put that out there because that's a great thing to do. Why not? I mean, they do that all the time. So just a thought.
I like that.
Collaboration. Yeah, I love the idea of like collaborating with people on here. That would be cool.
Yeah, and it could be that it's a show they run, and Jenna and Kimber run their show without any of us in the room.
It's so good too. Just to say, like I've been going through the backlog, and it's really good.
So embarrassing. Yeah, we've come along.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, and Jay-Z and I have tried to tag team on several things, and then like Everything Under the Sun was our show. You remember how long that lasted? Like a week. And then it became a group show. Remember that?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's frozen.
I don't know if he can
He
hear
might
it.
be.
No, I lost the connection. Got really bad, and you all sounded robotic and stopped moving. And I realized it was my side because all of you did that at the same time.
No, I was saying that we tried to tag team on Everything Under the Sun, and then it turned into a group show like a week later. Remember that?
Oh no, I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Sinus.
Something about Everything Under the Sun, and then something happened a week later.
Yeah.
We were tag teaming.
We're totally tag teaming right now.
I think one thing I do want to add to the tag team thing is just knowing, like learning. I don't know how to, if we do it with just each other or this as time goes on, even in the Discord, I'm learning more about what other people are into, and then it's easier to kind of think of ideas of what we could work together on. Of like, because I think even our last episode today, we did Chiron versus Ceres because I'm obsessed with Ceres and Jenna's obsessed with Chiron. And so that was actually that was like the first episode. It felt like we're starting to lean into our own vibes, and yet we were able to build off of it. And so it wasn't until I feel like we talked about Chiron and Ceres constantly. And so we were like, oh, let's do that. And just, we're hearing what you're into, Andy. It's like, oh, how could something I'm into connect with that?
Right.
So yeah, just like continuing to like be open and sharing things we're interested in.
Totally, and they tag team for like
oh no, now I can't hear Andy.
Okay, well, let's close the meeting. Let's close
can
it. All
only
right,
hear
we'll see you
Daisy.
later.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Clowns next week, right?